Hi, everyone. My name is Dua Kinde. Everyone calls me ID. Welcome to season 4, episode 2. Now, this episode is, we're going to build on what we did in episode 1, which is to define who a co-founder is and think about the foundational requirement for thinking about who is qualified, quote unquote, to be a co-founder in a business. In this one, we then build on that and ask the question, how do you go about looking for someone who meets that requirement that we laid in episode 1, season 4? So how do you go about looking for a co-founder? What do you look for in a co-founder? Okay. That's the question we're asking this. There are quite a number of approaches, depending on who you talk to. But this is something that I've developed for a couple of years, and I've shared with literally hundreds of founders across the world, and they found it useful. I still got some positive feedback from someone a few days ago when I shared this. I think it's practical. Probably 90% of it is crafted from my own personal experiences. I won't spend too much of your time, but I have quite a few experiences with picking people that didn't turn out to have an alignment. But that's in the past. So in this episode, 4.2, season 4, episode 2, we will discuss what do you look for in a co-founder. I have a framework. I wouldn't exactly call it a framework, but at least a collection of thoughts, right, that I'd like you to consider, okay? And there's 5 main components to that. So I'll share that in the screen soon, but this particular episode will be focused on the first of those, okay, which is alignment of values. Without much further ado, let's get cracking. I know you don't want to see my face. There you go. And when you've answered the question of who is a co-founder, the next question is, oh, okay, so now I know what I should be thinking about when considering starting a business, how I should be thinking about the process of searching, selecting, onboarding potential candidates to be a co-founder, to be co-founders. I have this rubric, this system, okay, and I think that if you think along these lines, you will eliminate many of the risks around picking the wrong people or picking incompatible people or people that may not survive that 6 to 15-year journey that we spoke about earlier. So actually, to be honest, 6 years is really, really optimistic, right? In realistic terms, it's probably something like 10 to 15, but maybe once in a while you can have a really, really high performing company. You can see success around 7 to 8 years. But what it means statistically is that you are going to be married. You are going to be working with this person. In fact, many of the co-founders, many of the teams, many of the founders that I work with, in particular, Eddie, a good friend of mine, was joking recently that his wife always makes fun of him whenever he's talking to his co-founder, because obviously they spend lots of time together because they have to build a company, right? So that's the point. You are going to spend copious amounts of time, a lot of time with this person, this candidate, and not just a lot of time for a short period of time. You're going to spend a lot of time for a long period of time. That's a 10 to 15-year journey. You might as well do the groundwork now to select candidates that are likely to last that distance. So the first thing we're going to consider in this particular episode is alignment of values. And there's a couple of techniques in there that I'll share based on my experience. So this rubric has 5 components: alignment of values, the presence of certain skills that are relevant to the founding role or to the founder role. I don't personally think that anybody, quote unquote, should be a founder, right? Or a co-founder. I think that there are certain required skills that belong in the co-founding, in the founding role, in the founding team, that whether it's a team of one, a solo founder, implying that that solo founder should have all those competencies, or it's a team of 5, or it's a team of 2, or it's a team of 3. The important thing is that these required or these vital skills or competencies should reside within the founding team. If the founding team is 1, all the skills should be present. If the founding team is 22, all the skills should be present. I'm not recommending a founding team of 22, by the way, but just to make the point. The third of those things to look for is grit. We'll discuss that. The fourth is finances or financial situation, and the fifth is team placement. All right, so let's talk about alignment of values. All right, so this is probably the most interesting, probably, but the point here is to encourage that founders, okay, the lead founder, the person that has discovered the opportunity and is trying to invite other people to go on the journey with them, should imbibe a practice, a habit, a system for covertly evaluating candidates from time to time as they meet them in different places. So you meet someone at a party, why not? You meet somebody at a work function, you meet somebody at an industry conference, you meet somebody at the bar, wherever it is that you meet someone, they may end up being a match, right? If you want to consider, the first thing that I advise, is that if you want to consider this person for a founding role, a role on your founding team, the first thing you should do is share your idea. But more important than the idea itself, share the why behind the idea. Unashamedly, unabashedly, share your unquenchable passion. But as you are doing that, keep your eye open and watch for the reaction, watch for the body language, watch for the reaction, as it were, from the other party. Okay, you are going to see a couple of things, and if you do this with a wide enough number of candidates, you will see a wide enough range of reactions. You will see bland, nonchalance. You will see indifference. You will see, well, I actually do not think that anything can come out of that particular sector. I think, you will find people that will swear on their life that fintech is dead, okay, quote unquote, right? But you will also find people that will swear on their life that fintech is the future, right? So watch for the reactions. So the point here is to observe candidates' body language, and this is your first filter. So you may, as you practice this, skill over and over, you may discover that over a 3-month period you have, and if you log those people, the candidates, you may discover over a 3-month period that you've actually evaluated maybe 20 people. Okay, well, just for the purpose of discussion purposes, maybe 20 people. And maybe only 5 of them have actually exhibited a degree of interest, natural interest and excitement about this particular space that you also, that you find, that is something that you can work with. So that's the first thing, alignment of values, okay? What do you watch out for? Share your why. Number one, share your why. Share your purpose. Share the reason why this is personal to you. Share the reason why you are leaving your job. Share the reason why this thing does not let you sleep at night. Share, let this person understand the reason why you have to take the sacrifices that you are taking. Okay. And if that person sees the reason and can also, hopefully you can elicit a similar degree of passion. If you can, then you might be onto someone that is a good candidate. There are other gates, there are other filters down the line, but at least the first filter is alignment of values. So share your why. And as you're sharing that, share it over coffee, share it over a drink, share it over a chat share it over an exercise walk, and observe people's body language, do their eyes light up, when you're describing this, or when they are responding to your why? What's their body language? What's their posture? What's their tone of voice? And so on and so forth. So that's the first point here. So thank you very much for tolerating my hallucinations. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.